No, usually it comes down from the boss, who dictates what's going to happen, and it keeps it pretty simple. It's not a democracy. Democracy doesn't work in a rock and roll band. I found that out many years ago, and so the best thing to do is have somebody that has a plan, that has a notion of where things should be, and go with that. He's not quite the control freak that he used to be, but still, you know, he wants things done his way, and it's worked so far, so I'll stay with it.
Welcome to Curious Goldfish, a podcast community where music and curiosity come together through interesting conversations with the music makers of our world. I'm your host, Jason English. You can find Curious Goldfish in all the major podcast and social media platforms, and of course, we have all of our content on our website, curiousgoldfish.com. Welcome to Curious Goldfish, a music podcast about more than music. I'm Jason English. I've sat on this conversation for about 1 year, and to be honest, I don't know why. When a past guest, Mike DeLevante, was kind enough to offer an introduction to a founding member of the E Street Band, Garry Tallent, of course I jumped on the opportunity. And you'd think once I had that opportunity to meet him and talk with him, I'd chomp at the bit to post it. I can't explain the delay, other than I think I was just nervous. Not because of Garry, I think it was just pure insecurity. Insecurity by me because I kept coming back to the fact that this is rarefied air. A musician who's been part of a legendary rock band and a rock and roll Hall of Famer, no less. I've just been nervous to watch and listen to myself for fear of falling short of weird expectations I placed on myself. I think it's a similar feeling that a lot of musicians I talk to also experience. Self-doubt sometimes can creep in, and you start telling yourself you don't really belong doing this. Well, that's up for debate for sure. And I may not be up to the task, but Garry was so kind and generous with his time. He's the founding bassist of E Street Band, having spent more than 50 years with Bruce Springsteen, and he still talks about the job like a guy who just landed the gig. I caught up with him late last summer in Nashville after a long run on the road with the band in Europe. Some musicians chase the spotlight their entire careers. Garry has spent 50 years happy to just stand out of it. The episode wraps up with a really cool performance with Mike DeLevante and Garry on an acoustic bass. So please stick around for that. So now, from Nashville, Tennessee, here's Garry Tallent. Let's dive in. Welcome to Curious Goldfish Podcast.
Thank you. Good to be here.
I really appreciate your time. So we're in a little makeshift fishbowl here in Nashville. Mm-hmm. We should have water because it's so damn hot. But thanks for braving the heat on a mid-August afternoon on a Saturday here. I just have some questions for you. And
no cement pond, huh?
No cement pond, yeah. Next time. But yeah, appreciate it. And I was asking you before we started recording if you were home for a while, and I think you said yes, but you just got back from big tour in Europe, right?
2.5 years.
Yeah, 2.5 years. That's big. Yeah, and I've heard through the years that members of the E Street Band and Bruce himself have sort of commented on the fans over in Europe being, if not the best, the best, fans that you all have. I guess, do you still feel that over there?
They're pretty committed. They should all be committed. They're nuts. Of course, it's great for us. But yeah, the American fans are great, but they just I think it's just they're tired of us or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
in Europe, it's still growing.
Still growing in Europe, yeah. And do you feel that when you're performing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's still growing, and it feels like it's building into something really big.
One of the clips I saw of the tour, I think, was in June in Liverpool. You guys played at the legendary Anfield Stadium where the Liverpool Soccer Club or Football Club plays. that was really cool. And that, Bruce and you guys brought out Paul McCartney to play Can't Buy Me Love, I think. And I think you've referenced Paul as a mentor and as an influence through the years. Is that still cool for you to be able to perform, with him and be able to spend time with him?
Well, sure. I mean, he's a Beatle, for God's sake. You got to be impressed. But yeah, he's a really down to earth guy. He really tries to fit in with everybody and very friendly with everybody. Yeah, it was great. It was great fun to actually play guitar with the band. That might be the first time I've ever done that.
No way, really? Okay.
I think so.
Oh, that's cool. Do you get any time with Paul before or after the performance, or is it
Well, just with everybody. Just
with everybody? Yeah.
Going over what we're going to perform.
Yeah. Through the years, I'm sure the cameos that you've experienced are probably countless. Are any other cameos memorable for their own reason that if you look back on the decades that you've performed that stick out?
Well, we don't really do that many, but the one that sticks out is John Entwistle. We had 2 bass players that night, and he was louder than me, though. He was louder than everybody. But yeah, that was kind of cool. Well, yeah, I mean, Paul McCartney. It's Paul McCartney.
It's Paul McCartney.
Right. I mean, I stole just about everything between him and James Jamerson and a few others. He's definitely my influence.
So when you, and we're not going to probably have time because it's probably too hot to go through all the details of your unbelievable career, but there was a stint where you were playing music with the Long Players, right? I think you made the comment about how at the end of the day, you're still you, like you might try to learn the style or learn the music from another player in order to cover their music. But at the end of the day, you're not going to change, Is that still like a mindset even today as much as it was earlier in your career?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm capable of changing at this point. But yeah, it's always good to know, other styles and you learn something from everything you listen to, no matter what it is. I was listening to some tuba music. It's an old blues with tubas playing, and just fun to listen to a whole different approach to the bass.
And you have, like, before you got into rock and roll, like you came from an orchestral background, right?
I played tuba.
You played tuba. Do you still pick that up now, or
not too
not
much?
so much?
I have one, but it takes constant practice.
Does it? Yeah.
Which I'm too lazy to do. So that kind of took a backseat a long time ago.
One of the things I want to ask you, because you've worn so many hats through the years, if you don't mind, I'm just going to mention a role. It could be professional, maybe personal. And if you could just tell me kind of the thought or the memory, or maybe it's a person that comes to mind as you did something. If you don't mind, I'm just going to run through a few things. So I'll start with maybe an easier one, performing live in front of 100 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people. You wear a lot of hats, but what is it about performing live that sticks out at you, that it will always stick out at you?
Well, the immediacy of it, obviously, making it all click. It has to click. There's nothing like that. Working with the band and really trying to make the set click, make everything groove, make everything go smoothly.
What about session performing here in Nashville? What sticks out at you?
I enjoy that because that's usually where the creativity really gets honed down, gets figured out exactly what everybody's doing. That's a good place to be inventive.
Okay. What about producing?
Well, that's another thing. That's depends on what needs to be done. You do as little or as much as needs to be done. If everything is going smoothly, you're better off just being quiet and letting it go.
Got it.
And if things aren't going so well, then you get up off your lazy ass and try to make it happen. But I probably spend more time letting things go, because usually you if you're smart, you pair yourself with good musicians, and everything is a good situation. So it becomes quite easy to do.
Okay. What about songwriting?
That's another story.
Okay.
That's the hardest thing.
Is it?
Yeah, I have trouble with lyrics, and I often get help. I have various friends that are better lyricists than I am, and we usually get together and fight it out and figure out who's right and who's wrong about what line is so important. I enjoy the songwriting part of it, but I have to have something to do, something, a plan for it. I don't just start writing because I am driven to.
So those are roles that you've played. Did I miss any professionally? There's probably some I've missed.
That's probably about it.
Is that it? All right. Well, that's a lot.
Babysitter.
Well, I was gonna say, what about Grandpa? What's the best part about that?
That's just a great job. That's a great job. Whoever invented that job had something going.
Is it the best job in Nashville, you think?
It's the best job in the world.
Best job in the world? All right.
Sure.
Yeah. What about, are you married now, or do you have a fiance?
I have a fiance.
You have a fiance. Okay. So what about being a fiance? What's the best part of that?
She's always there. She's always taking care of me. That's a good thing. I need more and more care every day.
So the professional roles that you mentioned, do you have a favorite? You said songwriting is the hardest,
Oh.
but what's your favorite?
I think playing the bass it's kind of hard to beat that. It's just,
So when you say that, you're talking about performing live?
yeah, performing live with the E Street Band is probably as big a kick as you're going to get.
Yeah. Do you still feel that kick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Happens every night.
Does it really? That's amazing to me that you've been doing it so long that, which is great. You still feel that.
Oh yeah, you got to. You got to get carried away with the music, and it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
So you've been doing it so long. And again, the accolades and the honors that you've received personally and the band's received are, again, too many to name and count here. I guess just like a marriage, just like a family unit, a team, whatever, you're going to have your highs and your lows. Reading through the years, you've had, I think, a pretty remarkably few number of, I'd say, speed bumps that at least have hit the press, right, through the years. And we're not going to get into some of those details. What I'm more interested, though, is, the brotherhood that you have with Bruce and your other bandmates. When things come up, whether they're true or not in the press, or whether things happen, kind of behind the scenes, how do you guys look at conflict, and how is that resolved? Things are bound to come up, right?
Well, it usually comes down from the boss, who dictates what's going to happen, and it keeps it pretty simple. It's not a democracy. Democracy doesn't work in a rock and roll band. I found that out many years ago, and so the best thing to do is have somebody that has a plan, that has a notion of where things should be, and go with that. He's not quite the control freak that he used to be, but still, he wants things done his way.
Yeah.
And it's worked so far, so I'll stay with it.
So when you came to Nashville, again, there was that hiatus with the band, and that allowed you to work with probably so many different artists and in different genres and stuff. What about those experiences were you looking to, experience, I guess, apart from Bruce and the E Street Band? Did you come to Nashville with the intent of, experiencing specific things, or did things just happen and you're like, okay, well, I didn't expect this, but here I am and I'm loving it?
Yeah, that's I think John Lennon said it best when he said plans are what life is. I forget what he said. Something about plans being made to be changed. And no matter what you do, you always have to go with the flow. I didn't intend to open up a studio here in Nashville, but it seemed at the moment the thing to do. So I wound up doing that, and I wound up closing it for a similar reason. It was just the time was right. But yeah, I did that for close to 20 years and got to do some real interesting things. I did the Delavantes was one of the first things I did when coming to Nashville, and so yeah, I've gotten to do a lot of things that they weren't maybe big hits or anything like that, but all things I'm proud of.
No, that's great. Yeah. So the De Levantes, I interviewed Mike recently. In researching for that conversation, what was interesting is like, you talk about genres. The Americana genre, I guess, didn't really ever exist officially until the early to mid 90s. And I think he and his brother were the first ones to hit #1 on those charts and stuff. I guess as the producer or the contributor or the collaborator for some of that, like, do you know that you're kind of creating something that's never been created, and or is that just more the industry kind of putting labels on things?
I think it's more the labels putting it the industry putting labels on things. Americana at this point takes in a whole vast musical swath, from blues to even I heard a band at the Americana Fest. It was definitely Southern rock and verging on heavy metal. So yeah, Americana, it's American music. So it takes in a lot of rock and roll, takes from everywhere. That's why it's rock and roll. So gospel and jazz and everything else is included.
Yeah, it's a big tent.
It's a big tent.
So did anyone that you worked with here in Nashville, either if you went in as a session performer or as a producer, were you completely blown away by that experience that you can remember that was kind of, unexpected?
Blown away, I don't know. I don't get blown away very easily. But yeah, I had definitely
Mike Delevante
some great experiences.
taking offense to that.
Yeah, I don't think I get blown away, but I get excited. I certainly enjoyed the work. I can name quite a few people that I've worked with over the years, Delevantes included. But Greg Trooper was a great experience, and that was another one of the early Americana successes. But I always said I should have gone for the pop successes, but Americana kind of took me.
Yeah. So why do you say that about pop? Is that just, are you kind of being facetious, or is that
More money?
more money? Is that where the money's at?
Americana, you're lucky to sell a couple records, but mainly I want to be proud of what I put out.
Right.
And so far so good.
So can you take me back to like the Jersey in the early 70s and that whole scene?
You don't want to go there.
Well, I want to go there only from the standpoint of the life that you've lived and the career that you've had. How big of a part did that play in that success and in where you've gotten? Or was that just like that? If you grew up in Detroit, or if you came up through Hollywood or Austin, would it have mattered?
I don't know. I have nothing to compare it with. I've given that thought. What would have happened if I had never moved to New Jersey? I'm afraid to say Bruce might have never have made it. Hey, it's a long shot. Without me behind him. Yeah, no. It's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine as long a haul as it was, that they were still here 55 years later, still making music. It's come a long way, and like I said before, I feel like it's still building, and that's the great part.
That's amazing, actually. Yeah, I was going to ask you in the spirit of humility and out of respect for the career that you've had, but it's in the spirit of constant improvement and self-improvement and being better at your craft. So, where do you think you are as a bassist, as a Hall of Fame bassist, and where do you want to be?
Well, I'm nowhere as a Hall of Fame bassist. I get by. I do what I do, and I've gotten away with it. But I'm no maestro. I'm no Victor Wooten, put it that way. But I get away with what I do, and I think I make up some pretty good parts, and I try to do what's right for the song and the groove, the song and the groove. And as long as I keep with that, everything will be okay.
Yeah. Do you have ambitions for self-improvement that, you're wanting to achieve, or are you just taking things day by day?
At this point, I just want to be able to keep doing what I've been doing. As you get older, you lose dexterity and
Right.
you have to practice and you have to keep up your strength, which I've been doing. But no, I don't have any desire to be this bass player in the spotlight doing big solos and stuff.
Right.
That's not me, personality.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about the bands that are your contemporaries a little bit? The Eagles, Dead and Co. Doing their runs at the Sphere in Vegas. I don't know if you've seen any of the highlights. Will the E Street Band ever make an appearance at the Sphere?
I don't know. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, you talk about the visuals on that, right?
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I actually went to the Sphere and just saw the film that they show.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
And it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But as far as setting up the band that way, it would seem a little clinical.
You think? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
But it might be interesting too.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking about all the visuals of like the Jersey Shore and all the concert footage that you guys have. The only show I saw there was the U2 one. I think they were one of the bigger acts to start it, and that was the most amazing part. I mean, they sounded good, but it was like how they incorporated the whole ambiance was amazing.
Who's that now?
U2.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
Bond
they were the
guys.
first to do it.
Yeah, they were the first. Yeah.
And I think that if we were to do it, it'd have to be scaled down.
Yeah.
Maybe just the 5 or 6 pieces, the band from '78. It's hard to imagine the whole show being on that stage.
Got it. Yeah.
But it's a cool venue.
Yeah, that's cool.
All kinds of possibilities.
Yeah, no, that's good. Well, one thing I want to ask you, someone was actually this morning was mentioning that I guess I don't know if it's a new book about Born to Run, but they said that, and I just wanted to verify this to see if you remember, was Born to Run initially played for the first time? Was it your father's or grandfather's garage?
Our father's garage.
Your father's garage.
That's where we rehearsed.
Yeah. Do you remember that day?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I remember hearing that song for the first time. It was a good one.
It was a good one. So you knew it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew right away that was the good.
Did your father like it?
I don't know if he paid attention. He was into Merle Haggard.
Okay. Well, that's, I respect that.
Yeah. I don't think he heard Born to Run.
Yeah. So we talked about you as a bassist and, things like that. We talked about the different roles you've played. Do you think you'll do another solo album at any point?
People are after me to do something. I don't know.
No.
I guess I have to be motivated. So far, it hasn't happened. But I would see some friends that were played in my band when I did the solo tour, and I was inspired to think about it. That's about as far as it's going to go right now.
Okay. All right. I'll leave it
Thinking
at that.
about it.
I'll leave it at that. Well, appreciate your time. I think, this little podcast I started, it's inspired by a lot of different things I'm not going to go into, but the big theme is curiosity, right? So I want to ask you, after your career, all the things that you've done, what are you most curious about today?
The state of the nation. I don't know where it's going. It's mostly not good. And I don't want to get political or anything like that, but I'm a bit concerned about where the hell we're going and how we're ever going to get back on track. That's my main concern these days.
Yeah, it just seems, again, not to get political, I'm in my early 50s, and I grew up in the 80s, and people believed their beliefs, which was fine, but there was always this political nuance that you could still, fight, and then go get a beer afterwards, right?
Right.
In Washington or in Nashville or wherever.
Right.
And it just feels like that nuance and that gray area of compromise, it just doesn't exist anymore.
No, that's the main problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
The fact that one side is not even willing to to negotiate with the other.
Yeah.
It's just all unnegotiable, and that's a problem.
Well, as a musician in the E Street Band, compromise had to be part of the narrative, right? Even though, Bruce was the leader and the dictator, and not the democracy, but compromise had to be part of it for you guys to, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Everybody's got to find the thing that makes the song work.
Yeah.
That's always been the case.
Yeah. And that it could apply to families, it could apply to politics, it could apply to diplomacy or whatever. Yeah.
Music is something I understand. The rest of it I don't. So I'm working on that.
All right. Well, good. Well, Garry, I really appreciate your time.
All right.
It's an honor to meet you, and thanks for braving the heat here in Nashville in August, and hope to see you around.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Garry. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
I'm Mike Delavante. This is my friend Garry Tallent, and we're going to do a song called Adelaine parentheses September Days off of our recent record called September Days. And Garry played on the record, and he's lovely to join us today. You ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3, 4. A nervous street lamp flickers, evening sunsets whisper, the nights are getting warmer, daylight stays longer. The corner street, the crossing guard, waving off the rushing cars, snowballs hit the New York bus. I don't think that I can wait for you. I can't wait. September days, it feels like years away. The heat of the summer came, takes my breath away. The hills are green where I stood, trails are gone in Lincoln Woods, dogwood blossoms and drift away. I don't think that I can wait for you. I can't wait. September days, feels like years away. The heat of the summer came, took my breath away. Adelaine, it starts to break, it starts to shake, it's too much to take. Downtown's quiet when they're gone, lawn chairs on the rooftops, wishing for the way it was. I've been waiting here just for you, just for you. And September days, it feels like years away. The heat of the summer came, takes my breath away. September